Hey there. Greatness isn't given, it's earned. And few embody that truth more than Kobe Bryant. What made him different? What fueled his relentless drive? Today, we break it all down to take you through the story of how a new Lakers dynasty is created. Welcome to the New Path to Greatness series, a sub-series of the Strategic Thinker podcast. Here, we explore the extraordinary journeys of iconic individuals and brands, breaking down their paths to success and extracting lessons we can apply to our own lives. Today, we continue telling the story of Kobe Bryant, a man whose relentless work ethic and pursuit of excellence turned him into one of the greatest basketball players, cultural figures of all time. If you haven't yet, remember to tune into the previous segment where we covered how Kobe's early years shaped his legendary NBA career. Whether you're an athlete, entrepreneur, or simply on a mission to achieve greatness in your own field, Kobe's story offers powerful insights into work ethic, resilience, and mindset. Before we dive into today's story, please note that the content in this episode is for educational and inspirational purposes only. I do not represent Kobe Bryant, his family, nor his estate, and this content does not imply any endorsement by them. I like to say that Kobe is one of my favorite NBA players of all time, and I've spent tens of hours researching and preparing, and thoroughly enjoyed learning more about him in the process. I look forward to sharing his amazing journey with you. In part 1, we wrapped up the story in the 1996 NBA draft, where Kobe was picked 13th overall by Charlotte Hornets and traded to Los Angeles Lakers. If you haven't listened to it, do check it out. It provides some context to what we are covering today. So without further ado, let's pick up the story in Kobe's rookie season. Kobe's rookie season was a test of patience and perseverance. Just 18 years of age and coming off the bench for most of the rookie season, Kobe averaged just 15.5 minutes per game, a stark contrast to the star role he envisioned for himself. Critics were quick to point out his aggressive shot selection and occasional turnovers, branding him as an overconfident teenager who wasn't ready for the NBA. Then came the playoffs. This was Kobe's moment to shine. Or so he thought. In the 1997 Western Conference semifinals against the Utah Jazz, he found himself taking the final shots of the game. With everything on the line, he pulled up for a three-pointer airball. The Lakers grabbed the rebound, passed it back to him, another airball. In overtime, he had 2 more chances, and both missed the mark. 4 airballs in a closing moment of a crucial game. The Lakers lost, and their championship hopes were over. For most players, that kind of public failure at just 18 years old would have been crushing, but not for Kobe. You really have to give him credit for the willingness to take those shots with the game on the line. Instead of letting it break him, he used it as fuel. He later reflected on that moment, saying that just a year earlier, he had only played 35 games in high school. Now he was in an NBA season with 82 games, plus playoffs. His body simply just wasn't ready for that kind of endurance. Let's take a moment to reflect. Can you recall a time where you ever turned a failure into an opportunity to grow? Looking back, how do you feel about that achievement? As for Kobe, that summer, the off-season, I think you have guessed it by now, he went to work. He broke down every detail of those missed shots, his form, his strength, his endurance. He realized His legs had given out, so he redesigned his training to build up his lower body and prevent fatigue from ever being a problem again. That failure wasn't a setback, it was a lesson, and one that would shape his legendary work ethic. He also started studying the game at a deeper level, watching veteran teammates and opponents. Kobe's philosophy was simple. If he could outwork everyone in practice, he would outwork them in games. His dedication was unmatched. Lakers veteran Byron Scott recalled showing up for practice at 7:30 a.m. and finding Kobe already drenched in sweat from an early morning workout. This wasn't a one-time thing. It was every day. Other Lakers teammates often recounted stories of Kobe arriving hours before practice to shoot hundreds of jumpers and staying late to perfect his footwork. This relentless drive paid off in his second season, when he became the youngest player in NBA history to be selected for the All-Star game. Though he was still coming off the bench, his flashy moves and fearless confidence made him a fan favorite. And this was just the beginning. Kobe reflected on this period later in life. Those early years taught me about patience and preparation. You are not going to be great right away, but if you put in the work, the results will come. By Kobe's third season, he was no longer a promising young player. He was a core part of the Lakers' future. His minutes increased, his scoring improved, and his defensive intensity began to shine. But it wasn't until Phil Jackson arrived as head coach in 1999 that the Lakers truly began to dominate. We can't talk about Kobe's career without mentioning a head coach that is also legendary. And that's none other than Phil Jackson, also known as the Zen Master. In the summer of 1999, Phil Jackson joined Los Angeles Lakers as head coach, fresh off coaching Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls to 6 championships. Phil brought not only the triangle offense, but also his unique leadership philosophy, rooted in mindfulness, introspection, and understanding human nature. Kobe, at just 21 years old, was already a rising star in the league but had yet to reach his full potential. Phil recognized that Kobe's unmatched work ethic and drive could sometimes lead to tunnel vision, so he sought to broaden Kobe's perspective. Phil Jackson wasn't just a coach, he was a mentor. He believed that basketball was as much a mental game as a physical one, and he used unconventional methods to challenge his players. One of Phil's signature moves? Assigning books to his players during the off-season. To challenge Kobe mentally, Phil assigned him The Art of War by Sun Tzu during their first off-season together. This ancient book focused on strategy, discipline, and understanding oneself and opponents was perfectly aligned with Kobe's analytical approach to the game. This wasn't just about basketball. It was about shaping Kobe's mindset. Phil believed that Kobe's immense talent needed a foundation of patience and strategic thinking to unlock his full potential. Reflecting on this period, Kobe said, "Phil didn't just coach us on the court. He wanted us to think about the game, life, and leadership differently. That summer, when I read The Art of War, I started to see basketball not just as a physical game, but as a chessboard." This moment sparked a turning point in Kobe's career. He began to see the game not just as a physical challenge, but also as a mental and emotional one. This shift laid the foundation for what would later become known as the Mamba Mentality. Let's pause here again to reflect on our own journey. Have you ever read a book or consumed any content that challenged your thinking? If so, would you like to share that with everyone here? I look forward to hearing from you. Now, this Lakers team will go on a battle-tested journey marked by dominance, drama, and historic moments. The foundation for this new dynasty was built on the synergy between Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal, two of the most talented players in NBA history, and the leadership of Phil Jackson. The 1999-2000 season was a breakthrough year. Phil Jackson implemented the triangle offense, a complex system that required movement, passing, and teamwork rather than isolation. For Kobe, who thrived on one-on-one battles, adapting to this new philosophy was a challenge. But as always, he embraced the challenge. Under Phil's guidance, the team gelled into a cohesive unit. With Phil at the helm, and the team posted an impressive 67 wins and 15 loss regular season record, the best in franchise history. Shaq was unstoppable, earning MVP honors, but it was Kobe who made his mark when it mattered most. By June 2020, the Lakers secured their first championship of the Kobe-Shaq era, defeating the Indiana Pacers in the NBA Finals. This victory wasn't just a milestone for the Lakers, it was a moment of growth for Kobe. In Game 4 of the NBA Finals, with Shaquille O'Neal fouled out, Kobe took over in overtime, scoring key baskets and solidifying his reputation as a clutch performer. In the summer that followed, Phil continued to assign books tailored to Kobe's development. While the titles changed, the lessons remained consistent: leadership, mindfulness, and the importance of team dynamics. Kobe's leadership journey wasn't without challenges. Early in his career, he struggled to connect with teammates who couldn't match his intensity. But through introspection and mentorship from Phil, he began to evolve. By the 2001-2002 season, Kobe was not only the Lakers' closer, but also their emotional and strategic leader on the court. One of the defining moments in this mindset came in 2002, when the Lakers faced Sacramento Kings in the Western Conference Finals. In one of the most competitive series in NBA history, Kobe showcased his ability to perform under pressure, helping the Lakers to advance to the NBA Finals and secure their third consecutive championship. This wasn't just a victory for the team, it was a testament to Kobe's growth as a player and as a leader. As Kobe continued to grow, his mindset became more defined. He coined the term Mamba Mentality to describe his approach to life and basketball: a relentless pursuit of excellence, a commitment to self-improvement, and an unwavering focus to achieving his goals. The origin of this mentality can be traced back to his desire to outwork everyone. Kobe famously said, "I want to see if my opponents are willing to work as hard as I am. And if they aren't, I will outwork them every single day." Mamba mentality wasn't just about basketball. It's a philosophy that extended to every aspect of Kobe's life. It was about taking control of your destiny, pushing through the pain and adversity, and striving to be the best version of yourself. And now we are in 2003. The air in the Lakers' locker room was thick with tension. 3 years of dominance had brought 3 championships, but beneath the surface, the cracks were growing deeper. It wasn't a matter of if the dynasty would collapse. It was a matter of when. On one side stood Shaquille O'Neal, the team's powerhouse, a once-in-a-generation big man who could impose his will on any defender. Shaq didn't need to prove himself. He had 3 finals MVPs to his name, a towering presence in the paint, and a larger-than-life personality that made him the heart of the Lakers. He saw himself as the team's unquestioned leader. On the other side was Kobe Bryant, the relentless young star who refused to be second to anyone, not even Shaq. The championships hadn't softened Kobe's hunger, if anything. They had only made him more demanding, more obsessed with greatness. He wasn't satisfied with being Shaq's sidekick. He wanted to be the guy. For years, their clashing personalities had been manageable. But by 2003, the tension had become a full-blown power struggle. It started with small digs, passive-aggressive jabs that soon turned into full-fledged public attacks. In one practice, Shaq called out Kobe in front of the team, telling him to stop trying to be Michael Jordan and just pass the damn ball. Kobe, never one to back down, fired back in an interview. If Shaq were in shape like me, he'd be the greatest player of all time. And as you expect, the media pounced. Every practice, every comment, every glare between them became a headline. The Lakers weren't just a basketball team anymore. They were a soap opera. Shaq called himself the Lakers CEO, reinforcing that this was his team. But Kobe saw it differently. You can't leave from the sidelines, he thought. He had spent hours in the gym, before and after practice, perfecting his footwork, his mid-range game, his mentality. Kobe had sacrificed everything to be great, and now he was done carrying a teammate who, in his eyes, wasn't willing to put in the same work. Shaq's dominance had always been undeniable, but his work ethic didn't match Kobe's obsession. While Shaq relied on his size and skill, Kobe believed in grinding, outworking his opponents and his teammates alike. The gap between them had become unfixable. And then, in the 2003 playoffs, everything unraveled. The Lakers were gunning for a record-breaking 4th straight championship. But this time, their chemistry was shattered. In the second round, against the San Antonio Spurs, they looked disconnected. Once unbreakable trust was now replaced by frustration and finger-pointing. The Lakers lost the series in 6 games. As Kobe walked off the court, he knew what everyone else was thinking. This team is done. Now, let's take a moment to reflect. Have you ever faced a situation where you felt everything is crumbling around you? How did you respond? And what lessons did you take from that experience? Let's get back to the story. The following season, the Lakers front office tried one last desperate attempt to make it work. They brought in Karl Malone and Gary Payton to surround Shaq and Kobe with more experience, but nothing could fix what was already broken. Shaq started mocking Kobe openly in practice, calling him the Boy Scout for always staying late to train. Kobe stopped speaking to Shaq altogether, tired of what he saw as a lack of professionalism. Phil Jackson, the head coach, exhausted from playing peacekeeper, admitted that coaching them was one of the most challenging experiences of his career. Despite all this, the Lakers somehow made it to the NBA Finals against the Detroit Pistons. But it was clear, this was not the same team that had dominated for years. The Lakers weren't a team anymore. They were a collection of individuals all moving in different directions. Detroit Pistons exposed them, humiliated them. The Pistons won the series in 5 games, and just like that, the dynasty was over. The summer of 2004 arrived, and the Lakers front office faced a choice. They could either build around Shaq, the proven champion, or hand the franchise to Kobe, the young star hungry to prove himself. They made their decision. Shaquille was traded to the Miami Heat. Phil Jackson stepped down as head coach. The team that had once been unstoppable had officially fallen apart. Kobe had won the battle, but now he faced his greatest test yet. For the first time, he was alone. No Shaq, no Jackson, no safety net. It was Kobe's team now, and the world was watching, waiting to see if he could win without Shaq. The next few years would test him like never before. Kobe's rise from a determined rookie to a 3-time NBA champion was a masterclass in relentless work, adaptability, and an unshakable belief in himself. We recently discussed building confidence through small wins, and Kobe exemplified this brilliantly. Confidence wasn't something he waited for, it was something he built through repetition, preparation, and resilience. He faced early struggles, endured public failures, and battled internal team conflicts. But through it all, his drive to improve never wavered. He didn't let setbacks define him. Instead, he used every challenge as an opportunity to grow stronger, smarter, and better prepared for the next battle. The lessons from this phase of Kobe's career extend far beyond basketball. They are universal principles that anyone can apply to their own journey. And so let's go through some of them. 1. Turning setbacks into fuel for growth. Many people shy away from failure, but Kobe leaned into it. When he airballed 4 times in the 1997 playoffs, as a youngster, he didn't hide. He dissected what went wrong, trained even harder, and made sure it never happened again. This mindset applies to all aspects of life. Every setback, whether it's a lost job opportunity, a failed project, or a difficult challenge, can be a stepping stone if we treat it as a lesson rather than a defeat. The key is to analyze, adjust, and attack the next opportunity with even greater determination. Ask yourself, how do I handle setbacks? Do I dwell on them, or do I use them as fuel to improve? 2. Confidence comes from preparation, not just talent. Kobe's belief in himself wasn't just ego. It was built on a foundation of endless hours of preparation. His confidence came from knowing he had already put in the work when no one was watching. This is a powerful lesson for anyone looking to excel in their field. Talent alone is never enough. Preparation is the great equalizer. If you want to be ready for the big moments, you have to prepare long before those moments arrive. Think about our own journey. Are you waiting for confidence to appear? Or are you building it through relentless preparation? 3. Leadership requires adaptability. One of Kobe's biggest transformations wasn't just his skills, but in his leadership approach. Early in his career, he pushed his teammates with the same brutal intensity he pushed himself. But over time, he realized that leadership isn't just about demanding excellence. It's about inspiring it in others. This is a key takeaway for anyone in leadership or aspiring to lead. Not everyone responds to the same style of motivation. True leadership is about understanding people, adapting your approach, and bringing out the best in those around you. Consider this. How do you lead? Do you expect others to match your drive? Or do you adapt your leadership style to elevate those around you? 4. The Mamba Mentality. Continuous growth is the goal. At the core of Kobe's philosophy was a commitment to continuous self-improvement. A mindset that said, I may be great today, but I can be even better tomorrow. The Mamba mentality isn't about winning a single championship, closing a single deal, or achieving one milestone. It's about consistently pushing yourself to grow, no matter how much success you've already achieved. That's why Kobe didn't stop at 3 championships. His hunger for greatness pushed him beyond comfort and led to new challenges and defining moments. So ask yourself, what's the next level for me? Am I pushing myself to improve every day? Or am I settling into comfort? But this is just one chapter of Kobe's legendary path to greatness. His story didn't stop at 3 championships. In fact, the next phase of his career would test him in ways he had never experienced before. For the first time, he was on his own. No Shaq, no Phil Jackson, just Kobe, carrying the weight of the Lakers franchise on his shoulders. Could he win without the dynasty that had defined his early years? In part 3, the final part of this series, we'll explore the post-Shaq era and how Kobe adapted to leading the team alone. The setbacks that challenged him mentally and physically, his iconic 81-point game and how it redefined his career, the ultimate redemption, how Kobe rebuilt the Lakers into champions once again. As we wrap up, if you enjoyed this episode, consider following the Strategic Thinker podcast so you never miss an episode. Share it with a friend who needs a dose of motivation, and let us know your biggest takeaway from part 2, A New Dynasty. To recap, these are some of the key questions to think through. How do you handle setbacks? What fuels your confidence? Is it preparation or talent? What's your next level of growth? We'd love to hear from you. Connect with us on LinkedIn, X, Instagram, and YouTube. Join the conversation and share your insights with a community of like-minded individuals. You hold the power to shape your destiny. Strategic thinking is your compass. We will build an amazing future, one thoughtful decision at a time. Until next time, continue on your own path to greatness and keep getting better every day.